Welcome back, everyone, to Sanity Lost, the podcast where it's just an hour of us listening to people swallow gross liquids. How are you doing today?
I will quit. I will quit this podcast.
And then Timmy takes over.
My alternate
With
reality
tic-tac-
or alternate
with,
personality.
He's
knife
your
throwing tic-tac-toe.
Toon World persona. Your what?
With knife throwing tic-tac-toe.
Yeah. Oh, man.
One day I'm going to play Timmy.
Yep, and that's when real character growth will potentially happen.
Right, because he won't be pigeonholed by Dave anymore.
I like him the way he is. He's perfect.
But the real thing is that he will have had an entire childhood to be a delinquent, so now you have to work it out of him.
I know. It will
Do you
work
know
really
what?
hard.
The way Timmy's gonna go, he's gonna end up like somehow going down the same path as Percy and like just being delinquent, stealing stuff, doing all these things.
Living out in the woods.
But now he's armed with like skills of stabbing and tic-tac-toe and apple harvesting.
Apple harvesting.
It's
Oh
going to
my
be a new
gosh,
craft
he's gonna
skill.
Yeah, he's going to be the one that saves Percy one day
Mhm. Yeah.
and become his little like doppelganger.
Or if it was like a different style story, which it could be, Percy is like communicating to him via spirit, and he's just like his mentor. And
Oh, it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi comes back. Just
yeah.
following
No
Timmy
wonder
around.
Anakin's so pissed off. Yeah. That would be really funny, where it's just like, Timmy's what, around
I think
10,
he's like-
11?
Yeah,
Or
11, I think. Yeah.
11 years old, and
Yeah.
then it's just like, Caleb's just like, what are you doing? And he's just like, I'm eating apples, man. And he's just like, why? What do you, no, take that and sell it. Like, why are you eating it? And he's just like, listen here, ghost man, angry ghost man. Timmy's just gonna turn into Little Ash and Psycho Child.
Gosh.
And for those who don't get that reference, that's a completely different set of
I was going to say,
role-playing
go watch our
games.
other game.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about that, we need to find the next date we're gonna play.
Do some crossovers here.
Oh man, everyone's D&D characters meeting their Call of Cthulhu character.
Yep.
I can just see Caleb meeting Shade. And Shade taking the form of Timmy or something.
Mhm.
Or maybe Shade takes the form of Sarah at some point and is actually in the game already.
Whoa. That's a
Just-
mind bender.
That'd be
Nite
crazy.
just wants to date himself. We're back on that self-love thing.
Shade is a changeling, for a reference.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah. You guys ever think about, like, if you had to get a tattoo, where did you get it?
Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about that all the time.
Where and what?
Oh, well, that adds
The
complexity
what is
to
always
it.
the problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I have so many ideas. I have
Give
so
me
many
the
broad
last two.
ideas. The last two. Okay, so my last one that I just came up with is I want to get a bouquet. I don't know where. Maybe on my arm, like here
Mm-hmm.
or here. And
For audio listeners, that's the upper armpit.
oh yeah, on my forearm or like underneath my bicep or on my tricep, maybe. I don't know. And each
Quadcep.
flower represents an important person in my family because there are birthday flowers. I don't know if you know this, or like flowers of each month. So like I can find the December flower or the April flower. And so as more people come into our family, then I can just like add the flower. So it'd be like a growing tattoo throughout our lives. That was my last idea.
So you want to be a flower garden in your armpit.
Yes, that's exactly it. Armpit flower garden.
I'm-
That makes it sound great. So thank you for describing it that way.
You're welcome. Oh no, I was looking up birth flowers because
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
was
say,
a
are you
thing.
looking them up?
That's why my face is aglow right now.
What's your birthday flower?
According to this one website, is the daisy and the sweet pea.
Yeah, there's usually 2 per month.
They're kind of lame.
Oh, daisies are pretty. I mean, none of them are super like
You can make a chain.
a daisy chain. I would have to have multiple daisy birthdays. So yeah,
Apparently
that's mine.
Apparently, my birth flower is roses.
Oh. I actually don't know what my birth flower is. I looked it up once and then forgot.
Yeah.
And so what
Now
is
we're all looking up.
what is Payne's
the
tattoo?
narcissus.
What's everyone's birth flower?
I was wondering
Apparently
what
mine is
Payne's
the-
tattoo was going to be.
Oh yeah. Someone else go. I want to
Yeah,
know the
Nite,
other.
what is yours?
So I have considered getting Stitch tattooed with like as a goaltender or something like that on my upper arm.
Nice.
That's anything that I do would probably be Stitch related and something like combination of things in my life at that particular point in time. I haven't done one yet, but I've considered.
Nice. Love that.
I saw this video of somebody they switched Stitch's lines with another character and it fit amazingly, and it made me laugh, and now I can't remember where I saw it. But oh man, it was great. How about you, John?
I would probably go either like kind of upper, like right or left chest region, or on the arm, kind of upper arm. As for what, I don't know. I've gone through so many different things.
You get the supernatural seal on
We
your
can
chest.
never figure this out.
No, so many different
Yeah.
things. I would have to really sit for like a long time and kind of narrow down.
Hey,
A
just
D-
look at the
it's a-
bright side.
It's a D20 roll that's a nat 1.
That's pretty much what my brother's tattoo is, because him and his ex-wife have a matching tattoos of the coordinates of where they got married.
That's fun. See, I also
Not when you're
want-
divorced.
Oh, right. That is unfortunate.
It's also in their armpit. So, well, moving into the armpit.
Yeah.
That's just
John and I
painful.
want to get a couple's tattoo,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, it
Mhm.
is impossible to find a couple's tattoo that is not
Stupid.
lame. And I apologize to anyone out there who has couples tattoos. If you have cool couples tattoos, please send ideas over, because when you search it, they're all really cheesy and not cool, and I wouldn't want them on my body.
Look, all you need to do is go and start collecting kids, and at least
What?
3 to maybe 4, and then all you guys get a family tattoo of the different helmets of the Power Rangers.
Okay, anytime you start a sentence with "you should start collecting kids," I think
I'm-
we're already out.
Yeah, I'm also unclear where the collecting kids comes into play with this whole matching tattoos thing.
Look, in Pokemon, when you breed Pokemon, it's still considered collecting them if it's a new breed.
Good, now I'm breeding. Dave, you're really This
No,
is
you're
going well.
collecting.
So, why do you need the kids to do these matching?
because you
Power
have to
Ranger
have.
Because you
Tattoos?
you need all the helmets.
I'm collecting children so I can tattoo them.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
tattooing them on the kids, not just all of the
Yeah,
helmets on yourself.
I'm tattooing the children with the Power Rangers
Oh,
helmet.
no, you would
There you
get
go.
some as well. You can be like, I don't know, the Red Ranger.
Yeah, you gotta be
And
the
then there's-
pink, obviously. Always wanted
True.
to be the Pink Ranger.
You know, there's like 170 like different. There's so many. I found out recently because I wanted to watch the original Power, like what the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, what
Yeah.
it's based off of in Japan.
Mhm.
Like, And then I looked it up and I was like, there is like almost 100 and some seasons of that whole show, and they're not like separate. They're like all telling one collective story, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
So
Like,
what you're saying is to watch it is a really big commitment.
yeah, well, they kind of just had like, I think it was like last year or 2 years ago where they, I think at least the American side of it was kind of ending, and that's why they had like, they brought back the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, at least the ones that were still alive and not in prison, to come back and do the show. And it's like they had I think they had the Green Ranger show up and like maybe one other, but then like they just had everybody else, like all the different costumes, like from like the past, like I don't know, 20 years that show has been on the air, of like all the different forms, and they like all are there to help Spirit Johns, whatever version they're on now, to like fight that. And they like brought back like all the different enemies from each like different thing, like
Yeah.
So like it was a pretty cool event, but it was like, oh my goodness,
Intense.
like I was like, man, people thought Endgame was crazy. Like, it was just, remember
Yeah.
that obscure like ranger that like,
Yeah, no one ever knew about.
yeah,
The
he's there.
Chartreuse Ranger.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
charcuterie board ranger.
The Lemon Lime Ranger.
Oh man, there's this like anime that I really like where it does the, I think in Japan it's called like Super Sentai or something like that.
Yeah.
And it plays off of that, and it's like there's this dude, and he's like, I forget what his job is, but he's like, whenever people ask, like when he was little, he's like, what do you want to be? He's like, I'm gonna be a superhero, and he's like, superheroes don't exist. He's like, I see them on TV, they exist, and like he's looking at the like pretty much the equivalent of like the Red Ranger and all that stuff, and then like it just, the way the story is told, it's like he starts off like fighting petty crimes, which is just like people putting like their garbage out on at the wrong time, and he's like, how dare you cannot do that, it has to be at this time. It's like, what, dude, just go away. To
Yeah.
where like he actually starts taking on real crime, to the part where there's just like, he's like, okay, like the police trust him, and they're like, and he's like, stop evildoer, and then like the dude explodes and turns into an alien, and then it's just like, what the heck is going on? Like it's just like, wait, we're actually being invaded by aliens, and what the crap? This dude like actually somehow has superpowers, and then
Yeah.
it's just like the way it goes. I'm like, it's a really fun anime. I can't remember what it's called, but it's
I feel like we do this all the time.
but yeah. I also like how I blocked out the sun and it decided to go behind a cloud.
It's fine. It'll come back anyway, and
Better.
then, you
I
know.
want to punch it in the schnoz. But you know what?
It's
We're
alright.
also back with more Sanity Lost.
Whoop, whoop.
Womp womp. I'm gonna play music now because I found a different song. Hopefully it loops well. It's also really quiet to start.
It builds.
That's
It
all right.
will.
Get some atmospheric tension going on.
Yes. So, roll your luck before we forget.
Oh, right.
82 over
Sacrifice this.
33.
Ooh.
And I get 6 luck back.
I'm supposed to.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
am I rolling over or under?
Yeah, you're rolling
Over 58 over 51.
Nope.
And then we
22 under 77.
roll
and
a
if you-
10, right?
Yep, roll a d10 and add that.
9. Nice.
Wow. That's a lot of luck.
I'm now at 60.
I'm now at a whopping 39. After spending a ton of it to not get
I was
picked
gonna
up by
say
Buster.
you got rid of it. Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
feel like it was luck well spent. Sorry, Percy.
I think so. Yeah, we might be telling a very
Yeah.
different story if you hadn't.
All right, and so now I need everyone to roll a straight d100.
D100?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like, yeah, roll. Just do a normal roll.
Yeah.
Roll both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, normal roll. You're not rolling against anything. I just need to know the order.
I'm gonna
Alright,
put
I
it.
have a 22.
I'm gonna put mine in
22.
this order because it's funnier. 500.
You
5.
Nice, so 5.
mean
I have a
5?
66.
66. Okay. Well, this is funny. Alright. So, Caleb, we're going to start with you. So, we're sitting there, and it seems like it's a different night. You are actually on a date with Rose. Like, she showed up at your house, like, you forgot again, and it's like, and you're like, oh no, and like she kind of just like, fine, whatever. You probably even forgot where we made reservations, and like drives you to this like really fancy hotel, and by hotel I mean restaurant. We're not playing that style game. I'm not role playing that. And so anyway, like you guys like go to this restaurant, and it's like one of those really fancy restaurants where it's just like everything is dark except for like your table, and like you kind of go over there and you're just like sitting there. This waiter brings out some wine, pours it, and she's just sitting there, and she kind of looks at you. He's like, "So Caleb, I need to know, what are we?"
People enjoying a fine dinner together.
You can't be that dense. We've been doing playing this dance for so long. Look, I'm trying not to be your mother, where you've told me how she's always pushing you to get married, and I've heard, like, I'm not stupid, and I've heard people talk, but like, this isn't fair. Like, when are we gonna, oh no, move past just dinner date buddies?
I don't know. What sort of advancement are you thinking about here?
Well, and like as she begins to talk, like the waiter comes up and he's like, was the wine good enough for you two?"
Yeah, the wine was great.
"Oh, okay. Do you guys know what you'd like to order?" Rose Rose's like, I'll have the chef's special, with a side of chicken.
The chef's special.
What?
Come on, Caleb, you can't keep him waiting.
I don't feel like I've even seen a menu yet.
Don't worry, I know what to get you. Trust me. And don't worry, it's not the most expensive thing. And he kind of whisks away.
I don't even know what kind of food this restaurant serves.
And so she's like, "Look, I can't answer this question for you. Like, I know we met at Thanksgiving, and then we kind of just go on and off and on and off, like, we're going on a date, and then it's like every time you ask me on a date, it's like, okay, you forget, or Sarah has something, which I understand, you got to take care of her, or you and Cora have plans, and it's like, look, I'm trying to be respectful, but I just want to know where I stand."
Well, it's hard getting used to having a kid just appear in my life all of a sudden, and I love that you're so understanding about how forgetful I am about our dates. It's complicated, but we get along so well together, and I think Sarah seems to like you.
You're just saying all good things. So, when, like, I don't know, if you don't want a relationship, like, if you don't want to progress to marriage, you can just say so.
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. I mean, don't want to say that.
The waiter comes back out and just like places these two covered plates in front of you. Just like, oh, excuse me, sir. And like opens up Rose's as it's like a pretty much like this just kind of salad and like with like the side of like kind of just small grilled chicken. And he's like, as you ordered. And like, and he opens up your meal, and it's the pasta that you had with the family, like with Rose, the kids, and Cora. It's like, don't worry, I know what you like. And he kind of shifts into the shadows.
So Caleb is now just a pasta-only person. Got it. Oh, that's great. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely pasta. I mean, you know, I've never been the biggest of the romantic types, but I mean, I guess, what do you see us doing together?
And like, when you say that, Rose is no longer in her seat. However, who's sitting across from you is your mother. And he's like, when are you gonna give me grandkids, Caleb? I'm tired. I'm like old. When are you going to have this happen? I showed you a nice girl, and look, Sarah's a charm and everything, but wasn't able to hold a baby. And like the waiter comes back, like,
Caleb just kind of like shakes his head, like, wait, what's going on here?
And it's just like she kind of gets like starts crawling over the table and is like, Caleb, I want to hold a baby. As like all of a sudden the waiter's like, whoa, ma'am, please sit back in your seat. This is not the type of thing. As like he's wrestling, and she's just like, all of a sudden like your mother's like starts chanting, baby, baby. And all of a sudden like this wet meaty hand is put on your shoulder. And like, if you, well, are you gonna look who it's connected to, or just what are you doing at this point?
I feel like Caleb is like, feels like he might be struggling with like what is going on, like, so he's definitely gonna be looking at wherever this arm or hand seems to have come from.
Yeah. And so, as you look up the arm, you are met face to face with the greasy, like, like fat-filled face of Carl Giuseppe, and he's like, "A vote for me is a vote for stability." I want you to roll for me. Do a power roll.
Where'd that go and hide? There it is. Oh, that's not good. 97 over 50.
All right. We shift. Cora, you are in the general store. Timmy's at school, you know that, and like it's a slow day. And you are just kind of looking through, and like you kind of are going down, like you find this like kind of chest in your office. And like you are like kind of going through it, just making sure of things, and like kind of tucked near the bottom and like kind of a decent sized box is just labeled Timmy's Old Toys. However, you hear like this tune playing from it. What would you like to do?
She reaches in and pulls out the box with Timmy's old toys. A little curious.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so she starts to, I guess, examine it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot. It's light, and you pick it up and set it down. And as you set it down, it's no longer a cardboard box. What's sitting in front of you is this box with a crank, just slowly turning. You're dun 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 dun.
And Cora sits back a little bit.
And like it's just constantly going, like it's slowly cranking, like bum 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 bing dum dum bum. And the lid just like pops open, but nothing actually pops out.
She's confused. So she goes to pick it up.
Okay. As you walk over, you look in there, and there's this huge, like, it's like a whole nother world inside this box. Like, and what you see is 3 people sitting, not sitting, but like standing across the field looking at a child that is pointing at them. And you can kind of see like the wind blowing and the grass is moving. It's like a bird's eye view of like them, and the child is near a truck. And then as it goes forward, you see these 2 other people hop out of the truck and go over and grab one person who seems to be frozen and drags them over to where they were. As pretty much like when they go back and they open up the back of the truck, it's no longer a truck but like a giant apple, as they throw this person into the back of this apple, and they all kind of slither inside of it and begin to roll away.
Cora is crying
Mhm.
as she watches.
And with that, the lid slams shut as a similar meaty hand is on top of it. And if you look up, you see the face of Call of Cthulhu again. Well, not again, for you the first time. Saying, "A vote for me is for a better Centralia." Roll power. It's up near the top.
That's a 40 under 60.
Okay. Skip. You are having a debrief with Captain O'Neill. You are actually in one of the offices at Town Hall. Like he came in and he is looking over you, and he's just, I don't remember what his voice was, but he's like, Johnson would, wait, not Johnson, Thompson. Thompson, look, there are cults spreading all over the USA. The Axis are doing anything in their control to make sure that they can stop America from doing what they can to win and end this war. What are you doing to stop this?
Well, sir, I thought my first objective was to secure this site as a potential resource. There's a pretty active mine here with good output that I think would be a great candidate to bring into the military's control. As far as cults, this is a simple backwater town. I can't imagine that there's any sort of Axis infiltration in this location. And while I'm keeping my eye out, nobody is raising any red flags.
Open your eyes, son. That's what they want you to think. They're hidden everywhere. Probably even the people that you think you can trust. They draw you in to trick and disguise and confuse everyone in this nation. You need to be alert. I didn't send the wrong person, did I?
Of course not, sir. I'm always alert. Like, I'm absolutely keeping a lookout, and if there's any suspicious behavior, you can absolutely count on me that I will follow it up. But at the moment, nothing has presented itself. I'm still in the phase of getting into the good graces of this town and being seen as somebody that they can trust. And once I can reach that position, if there is any issues or groups that are trying to remain hidden, I think I will have a much better time much easier time being able to access, information from people that trust me.
Well, did you see this happening? As you look forward, and there's a child of a man standing in front of you. Skip, you can't trust everybody.
Skip, confusedly, trying to keep up with what's happening, looks at this new person and says, "Who are you? Where did you come from?"
No, that's not important. Not important at all. The thing is, you just have to make sure that you can see through all the lies as O'Neill is back. Like, it's like a frame skip, and he's just like back, and he's just, "Can I trust you on this, soldier?"
Skip is very confused at the moment, but questioning just his own perception and not wanting to upset his commander. Kind of quickly comes back to the current situation and responds with of course, sir. I'm absolutely the best person for this job, and I'm in the best place to detect any other issues while also securing resources for the military. So you can rest assured all objectives will be completed.
And as you're saying this weight is put on your shoulders as you feel this wet arm just draped around your arm, as you can smell rhubarb pie coming from the side of your face, as you just see the moist, glistening form of Carl Giuseppe. And he looks at you. You can smell the rhubarb in the air. And he's like, "If your way is unsteady, vote for me will allow you to be ready." Roll power.
Where's my... That is a 54 under 65.
Okay, so Caleb's the only one that did not pass.
It
Correct?
didn't pass in
Yeah.
a spectacular fashion.
Mhm. So Caleb, you see Giuseppe, and then all of a sudden, you're in the mine. You're still dressed nice. Everyone is gone. Someone's smoke alarm is going off in my apartment. But yeah, it's you're just sitting there in your chair. The restaurant is gone, Rose is gone, your mother is gone, the waiter is gone, Giuseppe is gone, and you are sitting in the chair, and like you see this like just light that you use for like digging out the mine, like the miners use to light up the path, and it's just kind of like behind you as it's lighting up. Like you can see your silhouette kind of just casting down like one of the mine shafts as like you hear this growl and this heavy like footsteps thudding towards you. Like it's not fast, but it's just like poof, poof, as you hear like as you hear like also can hear like metal dragging across the stone. What is Caleb gonna do?
I hear what kind of is it like chain type of sounds or what sort of metal sounds?
Not chain, it's like definitely like you've heard like metal tools kind of being like either dropped or hit on like the gravel being there. So it definitely sounds like it's
like a pickaxe being dragged type of.
Yeah, like without seeing it, like you can it's not like it's mining, but it's like kind of making similar like noises of it like either like catching and tinging.
Yeah, but I mean like that scratching sort of metallic sound.
Yeah.
That's good. It's kind of like because obviously different types of metal are going to have different sounds as they drag. So,
yeah.
So Caleb's going to like just try to get his bearings, look around, and try to figure out what's going on and how he ended up in the mine all of a sudden. Like, is there? I mean, I'll look around, try to see where the sound is coming from, and
yeah. So you hear that the sound like it's still cloaked in shadow, but it's and like the darkness, but you can tell that like where your silhouette is and like the aura of the light that's behind you, like something is walking towards you in your silhouette, and like as the thudding gets closer, you see like glimpses of light of a burlap sack with flashes of green and white on it as this giant is towering over you. What do you do? Still a little bit of a ways off.
So I guess does Caleb see any kind of like other light sources that he could get a hold of to light up and?
No, just the one behind you.
Just be able to see to get further in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm inside the mine.
Yeah.
So I can't since he kind of just shifted into this place. I think Caleb's first reaction is gonna be like just to pinch himself, try like, am I dreaming or something? To try to wake up and figure out what's going on.
All right, roll power to move.
4 under 50. The complete opposite of the first power roll.
So you're like, I'm imagining it's like you feel like a restraint as you're trying to move your arm. You're like, move, dang it, as like you're trying to move, and then it's like the thudding gets closer, and then like you move your arm and pinch yourself, and at that moment, Caleb, Cora, Skip all wake up from a dream that none of you guys knew you guys were experiencing. Like, you didn't know that Cora doesn't know Caleb was having some sort of nightmare. Skip obviously doesn't really know any of these two people, but all three of you at like I almost said 420. 4:44. At 4:44, all three of you guys wake up at the same exact time. Okay. Now this is what I need you to do. I need you all to roll 1d4 worth of sanity damage. Caleb, you need to roll 2d4.
These little D4s are hard to pick up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
even
I
harder to
rolled
step
a
on.
3.
Okay.
Caleb rolled 8.
Oh, you went past the breaking. Like, you can go insane.
Oh no, where's my lucky player? There we go.
So
I rolled a 1.
Under insanities, it says 11 temp insanity. Is that how much I need to lose in one shot?
Oh, no,
Yeah, because
bring it
mine
in.
says 13. Mine says 13 as the
mine's
check
13.
mark. So that might be right.
Sanity loss. Yeah. Yeah, they say actually it fits like from 5 to 9 points of sanity loss is fear, panic, and disorientation. Is enough to cause a potential episode of temporary insanity.
So it's not a guarantee, it's a potential.
Yeah, so let's look at temporary insanity. Losing, okay. On losing a fifth or more of your current sanity in one day, game day, the investigator becomes indefinitely insane. That's indefinitely. Temporary. If an investigator loses 5 or more sanity points, the result of one sanity roll, sufficient emotional trauma has been suffered that the keeper must test the investigator's sanity. I need to ask for an intelligence roll from you. So, Caleb, roll intelligence for me.
Exactly even at 70 at 70.
Well, that's a pass, and you cannot trick your mind and repress the memory, as you recognize the full everything you just went through, even if you don't understand what just happened. You pretty much are gonna go temporary insane. Roll 1d10 for me.
6.
Alright, so for the next 6 hours, you are temporarily insane, which, I'm gonna say you don't want to go in the mines. Like, for whatever reason, you feel like you don't even want to be in the dark. Like, because you feel like whatever that last thing was is hunting. And so you wake up in the dark, and like, unless you say otherwise, like you can like turn on a light and everything. You're just like, I don't know, steadying your breath and all that stuff. But yeah, for the next 6 hours, like you.
It's a good thing Caleb isn't a mineshaft worker.
Is she? Tip topsy world. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's what happens with Caleb and all that. And Skip, you wake up and like it's definitely like, well, how does your character feel?
Probably wakes up kind of like in a cold sweat, feels disoriented. The dream, like the experience felt really real, so it takes a couple of seconds to like ground with where he's at and what's going on. And once he kind of, recognizes he's in the bedroom and that it was just a dream, he like quickly brushes off how real it felt and kind of like puts it, files it into kind of a distant corner of his mind and, tells himself it was nothing but a dream and kind of rolls back over it and, in that compartmentalized military way, just falls back asleep.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Cora, you wake up.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely sweating and crying. Wakes up crying and kind of like just like puts her head in her hands to try and make sense of everything that happened. And I think probably just starts like sobbing. And lets herself have a good cry over that memory and losing Percy. And then I think she gets up. I don't think she goes back to bed. And she writes a little note that says, any information on Carl Giuseppe, and tucks it in the pocket of her apron to take with her to the general store later that morning. And then just kind of starts her morning routine a little bit early.
Mm-hmm. I was just looking something up real quick. Okay. Yep.
So when Caleb started awake, would he have happened to hear like Sarah awake potentially at the same time?
I'm gonna say with the way you came out of the dream, if you want to check that, you got to do a spot hidden, but at a -30. So with 30 lower than your normal spot hidden.
That'd be 13. 22 over 13. So nope. Or at least
Yeah, no,
the roll doesn't pass.
Yeah, like if she did, you didn't notice anything. Like you didn't notice with the state you woke up.
Yeah, I'm just because I don't see Caleb going back to sleep at that point either, and that would be one of the things that he'd be wondering. Probably is the rest of the house quiet?
Man, like if you give it a little bit of time and like you're gonna start looking around and all that stuff, like it doesn't seem like anybody else is awake. So yeah. And if there's nothing else you guys want to do, it's the next morning. As the sun begins to slowly creep up, we see an old car pull up in front of the Hudson house as a booted figure steps into the gravel of the car, like next to after opening the car door, facing towards the Hudson house. With that, we'll see y'all next week.
Dun dun dun.
Things are happening.
Dreams are super cool, especially when you give it to your DM as a tool. Oh yeah, sing along with me because everything's gonna get freaky. Woo!
And on that musical bombshell, bye.
Babies. See you guys next week.